This is what the inside of the Prism Tower in Pokemon ZA looks like. There's literally nothing, no floors or any people inside. And as we see before, the trainer was literally skywalking. Credits to Mia's channel for finding this insane glitch. It took her 10 hours to invade the Prism Tower. But how did they do this, you may ask? We'll break it down in this video, so stick through till the end. And if we actually look very close up at the windows of the Prism Tower, it looks very glossy and very blue. For some reason, they made it very detailed. But unfortunately, there's no structures inside. It's kind of disappointing that... I mean, obviously the game will not program it because there's no way that we could ever get into this Prism Tower. Compared to X and Y's Lumiose City, we used to be able to go in there and battle Clemont in his gym, and there was a lot of things going on. It was very bright, and that was the main source of electricity and brightness throughout the city. But now in ZA, which was the whole point of Lumiose City, this is what we were fighting for. What we were trying to restore peace between the people and the Pokemon. But at least we could actually stay in the area. Like, the game doesn't just kick you out, or it doesn't just fade to black. There's still a way to just take pictures. I mean, it looks very interesting. From the outside, it does kind of look blurry because we could see that some of these Pokeballs, like this is meant to be like the Pokeballs, I think, and this is like the door, the entrance of the Prism Tower. There's not really much to it, we can't really see anything. The windows are just blue color, it's just blurry. But overall, like the upper area of the Prism Tower looks way more better. It looks like kind of sleek, honestly, compared to the bottom. And the trainer just does poses. And it's kind of funny that he could just take pictures, and it's very rare, you know, it's like a keepsake that we could have. It's cool that the Mega Stones can still be seen from the inside of the barrier, but they can't be broken by the Pokemon. And there's even ways to like zoom in and out of the camera. From our perspective, it always would look like this. There's like a whole wall that's blockading it, and the Mega Shards are on the outside. But something interesting is that if we're on the inside of the wall, we could actually still see the Mega Stones. So what the player did was, they went to the construction site, they climbed all these ladders and went up to a high place. And once they reached to like a short ladder, the player noticed that when a ladder and a rotom jump overlap, the coordinates get shifted. It could happen when you're going up and down the ladder, but it's less likely if the ladder is long. So this is the short ladder that he did. He's trying to time it correctly so that when they jump from the ladder and use the rotom jump, they also want to click A at the same time so that they freeze midair. That kind of sounds a bit confusing, but we can see that the player just turns sideways, which occurs when they turn in the direction of the rotom jump. The more you do it, the more farther away you could get from the ladder. If we just time it correctly, like trying to rotom jump and climb the ladder at the same time. So it gets farther and farther, like inches away, to the point where he's floating inside the air. And eventually he could get to a point where they are just walking on air, or just standing in the middle of the sky overall. They also did kind of merge with a building. There's been a lot of criticism with the buildings in Lumiose City. I've even seen a map where all the buildings are all connected with each other, like that they're just one single structure block in a model. Another thing they did try was to press A on the bench to make the dialogue pop up and dash at the same time. If they do it on a balcony, it's a higher chance to do better because the balcony is where the sky is overall. So they basically go on top of this flower pot, which is transparent and able to walk on. And then they try and dash, which is pressing B, and then they press A at the same time. So it kind of makes a delayed effect where they can do the motions. We see a better effect here. So this took them hours again. So as always, we walk on top of that flower pot, which is transparent and able to walk on. Because if you just start walking on the bench wouldn't be able to be walked on since it's a solid structure. But the flower vase, the flower pots, are able to be walked on top. And then as soon as he presses dash, he wants to press A at the same time to make the dialogue text box pop up, which is this text box. And eventually, this is where the magic happens. He went past the fences, the barriers, and now they are on top of the roof. But there is an invisible wall, but eventually they do get past it. And something very, very cool is that eventually we could get to see what the outside of Lumiose City looks like. So there's just mountains and trees Honestly, kind of does remind me of Legends Arceus. This is what the game would look like if they did adapt that whole open world scheme, but they are just taking place in the city. So this is what the outside looks like. It looks kind of plain. I thought there would be something more interesting, like a mystery Pokemon or something random that they would put in the debugging system. But apparently it's just trees and grass. These mountains are very tall. It reminds me of those Mount Summit, Mount Pyre, all those types of mountains in Pokemon. So eventually they do reach the roof, but they do attempt it again. On the other side, they face it the other way, trying to get to the Prism Tower, and it works again. So now they're completely walking on the sky. I could just imagine what the trainers are thinking below. They're like, what is this person? How are they even doing this? Yeah, like they're just floating, walking, running. He's just running in the air. Eventually you do get a point where you go to the surface and the game kind of freezes you from moving. But if we do it again, in the area where it's directly pointed to the Prism Tower, the walls are actually able to be walked through. I'm pretty sure the other buildings are also like that too, with the walls and everything, the Prism Towers. All of them are very similar. And this platform you can kind of walk on. Actually, never mind. I thought that the walls would be invisible, but apparently they do have a blockage, so that Pokemon can't just fly up there. Okay, so this person tried it again. This time, we're running very, very fast. It's like rapid at this rate. This time, they made it so that it's higher than the Prism Tower, like higher than the wall of where it was. Like once they unlocked it. So once again, we see those glass windows, and then the inside is just empty, literally empty. Kind of disappointed by that. Apparently they could also walk above these people, above those rooftops. It looks very funny. I like how the angle looks. The water just looks like that below there. It looks like a pixelated carpet, honestly. It looks kind of like a black carpet. I wish there was more stuff that we could explore, like above Lumiose City, outside the areas. But overall, it was pretty cool that they could literally just walk on the sky and have all these things. If you guys want to try it out, it is kind of hard. It may take hours, so be careful for that. I mean, people spend hours shiny hunting, so maybe they could try out this glitch where, where you try to climb the ladder and rotom jump at the same time. Or you could also try dashing next to the bench to get on top of it, and then press A to initiate like a text box dialogue so that the trainer would have a delayed effect in the running. Once again, credits to Mia's channel for finding this glitch. Thank you all for watching. If you like seeing this glitch, if you like this video, subscribe for the latest Pokemon ZA content. I'll see you in the next one.